just to conclude, do you think Bryce Young is going to have a good year? Is he going to finally show why he's deserving of the number one pick?
He better, because listen, you saw how last year they was ready to pull him for freaking Andy Dalton. I do think they'll give him a longer leash this time because they saw flashes of him last year and what he's able to do.
I want to go to let's go to the Panthers. Boy, oh boy. Let's see. Carolina.
The Panthers are an interesting team.
They
really
are
because
team. Yeah.
Bryce Young showed flashes last year, but in my opinion, he still isn't where you would want him to be for what you for the position you drafted him at. And do I feel like the Panthers did enough on the defensive end through free agency in the draft? They did spend a lot of draft capital. I mean, they did acquire some guys. They got Trayvon Mulrig from the Raiders, who's a solid free safety. They got Patrick Jones the second, Bobby Brown the third. Like, I feel like they just went out, got some Jags in free agency. Personally, I'm not seeing a bunch of standout players. Like, I'm still trying to figure out where the pass rush is going to come from outside of Derek Brown, I believe he was hurt last year. So, yeah, I'm very concerned for that defense because J.C. Horn, he's a good player. They paid him a lot of money this offseason. So the expectation is he needs to play. And we all know J.C. Horn is prone to miss games and get injured. But like they got like a Nick Skelton, I've heard of him, I forgot what school he went to though. But he's a decent prospect. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like the Panthers could have did a lot more. I like the Tetairoa McMillan pick for the Panthers, but
of course you do. You want him on the Cowboys.
That was my guy. I hate them for stealing another one of my players that I wanted, but man, I don't know, man. They got Rico Dowdle to pair with Chuba Hubbard, which I like that acquisition a lot. But I don't know. I feel like it's going to be more. And I'll give them some credit. They was very competitive towards the end of the season last year. I ain't gonna lie. They was the Chiefs. They had a close game with. They had a close game with the Eagles. They had a close game with who else? There's some other teams. I think they had a close game with the Bucks, I believe, too. So they play competitive. They play hard. What's the head coach name? I forgot his name. Dave Canat. He gets them boys ready to play week in, week out. So I expect some type of progression. Like I think if you win 7-8 games, that's a big improvement. And you're putting yourself in a good position to win in the future. But I don't know. I'm not going to have my expectations too high for them. I still got to see more out of Bryce Young. He had good flashes, good moments. I need consistent play for 17 weeks.
Did you like so you mentioned Tet McMillan. Did you like the round 2 and round 3 picks? Because they selected 2 edge rushers in round 2 and round 3. I don't know. Did you like those picks? I can share my screen. Draft picks right here. Here you go. So Nick Gordon out of Texas A&M.
Yeah, I heard. I heard good things about him.
Yeah, Mississippi.
I don't know who the heck that is.
So yeah, I mean, are you high on those 2 picks, or are you?
I like Nick Skelton, but I don't know who that other guy is. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't do no scouting. I ain't see no film on him. But Nick Skelton, yeah, I think that's a good addition for them. And he's not expected to be the starter. I think looking at the depth chart, he looks like to be the second guy. Now I don't know if they do that whole thing where you got to earn your starter spot, but yeah. So we shall see. I feel like could have got like it's kind of hard to get like a big free agent acquisition when you play for a market like the Panthers, who have problematic ownership things like that. So
on the defensive side, what are you most concerned with?
Most concerned on defense?
Yeah.
Pass rush. Where is it coming from?
Right. So again, like I said, they drafted those 2 guys. Are they going to develop properly? Derek Brown is coming back. He's the starter on the depth chart, so it seems like he's going to be healthy week 1. What about the secondary? I mean, they have J.C. Horn, but is he going to be healthy? That's the question. Right. Is he always going to be healthy? It's always something about him. Safety position, I don't know about the safety position.
I like Mulrig, but that's all these. I'm not familiar with Chow Smith Wade and Damani Richardson. Like, I don't know. I feel like that defense is filled with a bunch of Jags.
So So it seems like to me they're gonna have to score a lot of points.
Yeah, honestly.
So the offense, you have Ted McMillan, we have Xavier Leggett, we have Adam Thielen at the slot. They signed a bunch of guards in free agency last year. They gave them a bunch of money. Chuba Hubbard, really good. Rigo Dowdle, you mentioned before. They also drafted Trevor Etienne. So it seems like the running back position is pretty solid. And if Xavier Leggett continues to develop, it seems like their wide receiving core is going to get a lot better. So
I got some thoughts on Xavier Leggett.
what?
For the amount of gas and attention he gets, that brother is not good. As of right now, that brother Xavier Leggett is not good. There's a reason they drafted Tet in the 8 slot when they had big needs on the defensive end. They could have easily got a Jalen Walker. They said this Xavier guy, yeah, we need a little more. We need some help on the offensive end. But I do expect good things out of like guys like Jalen Coker, who was he has some good stretches down toward the end of the season. I think Jimmy Horn Jr. he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I like Jimmy Horn Jr. too.
I'm surprised he failed that late. Like Jimmy Horn Jr. was nice at Colorado.
Yeah. So do you think
another concern?
Yeah.
I like the offensive line for the most part, except Akeem Ekwonu. I don't know what happened from when he got drafted to now. The brother just hasn't been performing that well. Like I thought, like Akeem Ekwonu was supposed to be like this really, really elite offensive. No, haven't seen it. Not living up to the draft hype he had. Maybe, hopefully, he could, being around better dudes helps him progress his development faster. But as of right now, I'm not too confident in him.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I gotta do some research. Maybe he had a much better year 2 on film and stuff. I'll have to tap in with some Carolina fans. I might ask a Trudeau or something.
So just to conclude, do you think Bryce Young is going to have a good year? Is he going to finally show why he's deserving of the number 1 pick?
He better. Because you saw how last year they was ready to pull him for freaking Andy Dalton. I do think they'll give him a longer leash this time because they saw flashes of him last year and what he's able to do in a well-produced offense when the run game is going well. He's getting decent contributions from his receivers. So I do think they'll give him a longer leash, but I'm not expecting anything crazy from him. I think he'll just have a modest quarterback season. His first full season where the coaching and ownership and GM put their full faith into him and his talent and letting him actually develop. You can't develop a player if he messes up and you immediately pull him and bench him and stuff. So I think that what happened last year really helped him and has put him on the right track. So I do think we'll get a solid year out of Bryce Young. That is the hope. Because the talent is there. The talent is there.
No, let's get to the final.
Who do we rank? Who do we rank in the division? Who's going to win the division? So, Brian,
my pick is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they're in a better position. They made the playoffs last year. Unfortunately, they ran into Demon Jaden Daniels on a crazy run. They was in a position to win that game, which is crazy. But I think the Buccaneers repeat as division winners. Second place, I'm going to go with the Falcons. Then I'm going to go with the Panthers. And then the last place would be the Saints, which would be hilarious. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers as well. They have the better dudes. They probably had a better coaching as well. They have the best quarterback in their division. They have the
most
best
proven quarterback,
Yeah. So, and then I think the talent for the Buccaneers, they got Evans, they have Bucky Urban, they just drafted Mecca Ibuka, which is crazy. Chris Godwin, he's coming back from an injury, but now he doesn't have to be relied on as the number 2. He could be potentially the number 3 because of Mecca Ibuka. And then they have Jalen McMillan, who they drafted last year, good depth piece. Cade Otton. They got so many guys. The offensive line is pretty good. The defense is okay, middle of the pack. So I'm just going to have to go with the Buccaneers. They just had the better dudes. They potentially have the better
they understand. I think they understand that how to support your QB, your younger QB. Because, like, they could have easily just said, Jalen McMillan showed flashes in the last season. He was pretty good now. We're just going to roll with him and throw him in that wide receiver. They said, no, we are going to get Emeka Egbuka, Emeka Egbuka, I'm surprised he's as underrated as people try to make in his draft cycle. Dog, Emeka Egbuka, he played with Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jeremiah Smith, who was a generational prospect, he still maintained relevance through all them years. The man is nice. He
Really
started. He's been a contributor since he was a freshman. You know how hard it is to get real good run as a freshman at Ohio State at wide receiver. Played all 4 years. He was a contributor in all 4 of them years.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have Falcons at 2. I think. Do you think the Falcons could potentially usurp the Buccaneers this year if they have a good season?
Absolutely. But the reason they probably won't is because the defense.
Yeah, and the coaching staff as well. I don't know if Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson will be better than Todd Bowles and Grizzard. So I don't know. In Carolina, there's still question marks on the offense. Receiving core, we have no clue really. And defensively, it's like, yeah, they still got a lot to work.
They're gonna be able to run that pill.
Yeah. And then the Saints, we already know they're a lost cause.
Yeah.
They're a lost cause. So anywho, it seems like a repeat of last year.
Carr was like, he said, tore my shoulder or something. All right, I'm retiring. Thanks for the money.
Hey, at least they got off of Derek Carr.
True.
But what is
the
their
one bright spot of the offseason? We got rid of Derek Carr. Woo.
What is their other option? All right. Oh my gosh. What else? What else is there? I think that'll do it.